Attorney, Iranian-American activist Elica Le Bon has been outspoken against the regime. Brave thing to do, and joins us now. Appreciate you being with us. There is this line going around from the Tucker Carlson, Bernie Sanders wing that remove the Ayatollah and a worse Ayatollah will come in. Are they right or wrong?
They're absolutely wrong. And it just shows the ignorance of people who are now deciding to use their platforms to speak on matters that they're wholly ignorant about. If they had been following the burgeoning revolution in Iran for the last 46 years, much less the last 3 years in which it took prominence, they would understand that what the Iranian people are calling for is democracy. And what this really displays is that you have this, unity between the woke right and woke left now, who are now descending. You have lefties like Bernie Sanders, who are now descending into the same racism, the same racist view of the Middle East, that everyone in the Middle East is a savage. Everyone are just savages. And therefore, if the Ayatollah goes, there's just going to be more savages to take their place. Why don't you just pay attention to what the Iranian people are telling you? Why don't you open your ears and your mind and actually listen to the people, and then you'll know what's coming?
There's a lot to unpack. Having no knowledge of subjects never kept anybody from opining on cable news. That's sort of a lot of cable news. We try to prevent it here on this program, but it's been known to happen. Want to play you something from Steve Bannon. Take a listen.
President Trump, I do believe, has given the Iranians, hey, you got a shot here to make a deal. He's not looking for a ceasefire. He's not looking for a peace deal. He's looking for your eradication, total capacity of your nuclear weapons. And I think if they take it and jump on it and meet with Witkoff and try to figure something out quickly, basically sign a document that he gives them, maybe with very little changes, there's a possibility he won't engage in combat operations.
Is there any reason to think that whatever the Ayatollah may agree to, that he will stick by that deal after having broken so many nuclear deals in the past?
You have to ask this question: what price does diplomacy come at? A couple of years ago, Obama engaged in the JCPOA, which was the nuclear deal at the time. And, you have to ask yourself, what is a deal? Isn't a deal something where they also get something? They're not just going to say, okay, yeah, we're just going to pack it all in and throw it away for nothing. Of course, it comes at a price. And what price did it come at? It came at the price of $150 billion. It came at the price of expanding its influence across the Middle East, emboldening its proxies. October 7th, that was the price of the last nuclear deal. So when people now talk about this prospect of a deal, what are you trading the deal for? You think you're getting peace at the end of the deal? Then why are we in this position after the last deal?
Fair questions. I'll ask you another one. Where are all the LGBTQ people? Where are all the Free Palestine people worried about civilians in Gaza? Where are all the women's rights folks when you've got LGBTQ people being killed in Tehran? Women have no rights. There's Muslims there living in far worse conditions than Muslims in the West Bank live in.
I'd love to say that they're all silent. I'd love to say that they're all in hiding, but unfortunately, they are loudly and proudly saying hands off Iran. But what they mean is hands off the regime in Iran, which is basically tantamount to saying hands off the Taliban. I mean, what kind of dystopian universe are we living in when the human rights advocates of our time are not saying free the Iranian people from the regime? They're not saying free the Iranian people that are being hanged from cranes. They're not saying free the Iranian people who are having their eyes shot out for protesting. They're saying hands off the regime that's killing them. These are not the people that are champions of humanity anymore. They've done a total about-face, and the humanitarians and pacifists are the monsters of our time.
There appears to be a break, at least right now in the world, that I didn't see after the Green Revolution 2009, when President Obama turned his back on those in the streets in Iran. Same thing happened after the young woman was killed for not wearing her hijab. The Biden administration turned its back on those. Do you see a change, A, in the world, but B, also in how Iranians themselves are looking at their own country?
I think what we're going to have to do right now is sort of assess how the situation develops. if this is a situation where they've sort of taken out the nuclear capacities of the regime, but they've actually left the regime in place, that's not anything that's going to be helpful to the Iranian people. It's sort of like taunting them. You're taunting them with the prospect of freedom and then taking it away. So I think the only thing that's going to change the perspective of Iranian people about what the future of Iran is, much less the future of the Middle East, which will obviously dictate the future of the world, is whether this regime does finally collapse at the end of this. If this is just a strategy to weaken its military capabilities and take out its nuclear capabilities, yes, it's good news for the rest of the world, but it's not good news for Iranian people, who will then have had to suffer through war and be traumatized and then be left with the same regime that it had before. So it's sort of a situation where if you're going to do anything, you have to go all the way or don't do it at all.
Elica, you were the right woman for this conversation. I hope I'm never in an argument with you, because I will lose. It's good to have you. Thank you very much. We'll see you back.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.